Is Copilot for Microsoft Excel worth the hype? Let's build a file together using only the AI tool and find out how much we can get done. I'm Mike, and for over a decade, I've worked in finance and companies from the Fortune 100 all the way to brand new startups. I've been an early adopter of what we're now calling AI tools since 2019, when I first integrated natural language processing into a Click dashboard. And since 2019, I've realized AI has as many limitations as it has benefits. So I want to help you keep up with the AI wave while also using it in the most effective ways possible. So what is Copilot? Well, if you haven't heard, Copilot is Microsoft's answer to Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, what have you. The benefit of Copilot versus these other tools is supposedly that it will integrate with your apps, whether that be Outlook, Word, or Excel, as we'll look at today. So what I want to do today is take us through a live file with live data, ask Copilot to help us work through our standard process, and let's find out where Copilot can do the work and where Copilot struggles to do the work. Make sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to share a resource for using AI in finance today that you absolutely do not want to miss. And of course, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on my weekly finance hacks and insider tips. I post a brand new video every Monday, and trust me, you do not want to miss what I've got coming up over the next few weeks. So what I want to do today is 5 different things for Copilot. First, let's talk about how to set up Copilot, the best ways to use it. Then let's take a look at what Copilot can do and what it can't do, at least according to Microsoft. We'll go through the Copilot framework of create, edit, and understand. We're going to work through a file with Copilot Live, and then we'll talk about some tips and tricks that I've read and tested out myself. So the first thing you need to do to set up Copilot is you have to be using Office 365 to have Copilot. So you're going to want to sign into your existing account. I've got a sample of what this looks like here. You're going to want to sign into your existing account and then add it in. If you're a personal user, you can add it to your own account for $20 a month. If you're a business user on your company's account, you'll need to talk to your IT department about getting a Copilot subscription because you can't add it to just one. You have to add it to the license and add it to multiple subscriptions. But if you want to add it to your personal license with Office 365, it's $20 a month on top of whatever subscription is. Obviously, that could change. That's as of today, but fairly consistent with what Claude and ChatGPT are charging. Once you've added Copilot to your account, it will just be ready to go in all of your individual apps. Taking a look at what that looks like, if I go over to an Office 365 window, you'll see this Copilot button right here. This Copilot button on the home ribbon will open up the Copilot window, just like that. And you see all the Copilot inputs as well as the Copilot prompt here. Desktop works the same way. Assuming that your desktop software is logged into the correct account, you'll open the account, it should already be there. If it's not there, go to File, go to Options, hit Refresh License, and Copilot should just appear in this exact same spot. We're going to work live online because that's really how Microsoft wants it to, and so we're going to try to do everything the way that they're saying is the best way to do it. So what can Copilot do and what can't Copilot do? Well, according to Microsoft, Copilot can analyze, understand, and visualize your data with ease, which is honestly a pretty big claim. They have a framework of create, edit, and understand. So Copilot can help you create the file, edit and format, and then understand the data within it. It looks like we can go deeper with data, we can identify insights, focus on what matters, a lot of very big claims, and again, some examples of create, edit, understand. We can generate a formula suggestion, we can bold the top 10 values, and then we can understand showing the growth of advertising sales from last year. And there's a lot of different examples of Copilot. And again, I'm focused on Excel, but there's Copilot functionality across the Microsoft apps. So from what I found so far, clearly Microsoft's not going to advertise what Copilot can't do. But what I found so far is Copilot can't work with your workbook as it exists today. Copilot can only work with data that is in a supported range, which mostly means it needs to be in a table. Not something shaped like a table, literally converted to an Excel table, which we'll do when we do this. The other thing that Copilot can't do is generate original thinking or intake context of your business. It's going to respond to only what is in the workbook, and it's going to respond really to pattern recognition. This is no different than most AI tools. AI tools just use patterns, so it can't generate context, it can't understand context, and it can't generate new ideas. It can just help pull themes out of the data that are either the same as or different than another pattern. So now with all of that said, let's get ready. Let's open up our Excel and let's start working with this. So I've got an Excel file, which is retail sales for 15 stores. It's quite a large data set. I wanted to throw something big at it. I think we have about 150,000 rows. Right now it's formatted raw. We're going to convert this to a table in a second. I have a second set, which is the store data. This tells you the type of store, size, store city, and the two link up using store number. You see store number there, store number here. So this would be New York. Of course, it does not say that, which is something that we'll ask Copilot to help us with. So the first thing we need to do is we need to convert our data into a table so that we can work with it. So we've selected our entire range. We're going to insert a table. My table has headers, yes. And we'll have Excel convert that into a table for us. So now our data is converted to a table, and what you'll probably notice is that Copilot is now recognizing this as a range. It's saying, what do you want me to do with A1 to G148022? What we're going to do is we're going to go to the table design and we're going to name this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our second chart. We're going to highlight this. We're going to turn this into a table. Okay, and we're going to name this one store data. Excellent. So now let's start seeing what Copilot can do. So Copilot has three options here. There's create formulas. That's the create of create, edit, understand. Apply color and formatting. That's the edit. And then understand, summarize using pivot tables or charts. This Ask Copilot, this is going to be your more traditional chat prompt like you would use with ChatGPT or Claude. You're going to ask it a question and it will come back to you with an answer. So the first thing I want to do for analysis is I want to be able to know which store city these are in. I don't just want to use the number. So let's see if Copilot can help us use some type of a reference like a VLOOKUP or an index match to pull store city into this one. So first I've just clicked the create formulas to see if it's going to suggest a formula column. So right now its suggestion is to put a sum and sum all of the weekly sales. Well, that's not very interesting. That's not really what we're looking for. So let's try prompting it. So let's say add in store city from table store data to table retail data using store number as the matching reference. All right, we'll give this a shot. Okay, it says it needs more information. It wants me to say the specific column and state the specific calculations. So it's starting to want me to do a lot of the work for it, but we'll do this. So add a column to table retail data. The column should have a VLOOKUP formula, reference column store, and looking up from table and looking up. I need to tell what we're looking up. So we're looking up store city. All right, and let's see what Copilot does. Again, this is all live. I did not test these exact prompts. I just wanted to work through this together with you guys. I have played around with Copilot. So again, it wants some additional information. Okay, so on a very basic test, Copilot gets an F for being able to link data between two sheets. So let's pull this in ourselves so we can keep working. Okay. So we'll reference our store Our table array is going to be stored data. It's in column 2, and we want an exact match. All right, and I'm going to call this column there we go. All right, so now let's say we don't care about department for purposes of what we're doing, okay? So we do not care about department and we don't care about date. We just want to look at the months and the year. So let's see if Copilot can help us with that. So we'll say apply color and formatting, remove columns, department, and date from table, retail data. And let's see what Copilot does. So it's suggesting we delete C1 to C148022, and we do the same for B. Yes, that is what we want to do. All right, and now after asking us to approve it and suggesting it, and after cycling for a while, it's deleted it. I probably could have done that 10 times faster myself, but Copilot was able to successfully recognize what I wanted to do there and do it. Now let's say if is holiday is true, highlight the cell in green. Let's see if it can do some basic formatting for us. So I'm asking it for if is holiday column is true, highlight the cell in green. All right, and it's saying a custom formula, and this custom formula is going to apply conditional formatting. That looks good. See, yep, okay, so all of the trees are highlighted. So, basic formatting. A, it can follow instructions and do basic formatting inside of a table. Excellent. Now, lastly, what we want to do is we want to understand. So let's go up here, and let's just click the understand button and see what happens. So it's going to summarize using a pivot table or a chart. Certainly a lot of waiting while using Copilot. This is definitely slower than ChatGPT or Claude. All right, on our first attempt, it's having trouble working on prompts right now. Try sending your prompt later. Helpful. So let's try that again. Let's scroll up to the top, understand, and we'll try sending it later. All right, it's recommending a pivot table summarizing the total weekly sales by store. That sounds good to me. And we're going to hit this button and we're going to add it to a new sheet. So now it should be inserting our pivot table for us. Yep, there's a pivot table. Is this a normal pivot table? Yep, so if I wanted to add our years, I can move this up to columns. Yeah, looks good. So it was able to create a pivot table. Let's see. Can you show sales in table in a pie chart for... Let's see if we can just do a basic pie chart and say what was our revenue by store, what was the share across. So this is interesting. So it was selected on stored data, and even though I told it to reference another table, it didn't. So it looks like you do have to be selected on the chart that you're talking about. Okay, so let's try that prompt again. And let's see what happens. Help us improve Excel Copilot. My Copilot experience has not been great. All right, so it took quite a while. I was timing it, it ran for about 3 minutes, but it did propose a pie chart This looks like it's going to be correct. We're going to add it to a new sheet and see what happens. Yep, so it built a pivot table and then it created a pivot chart off of the pivot table, but it is showing all of the cities, it is showing them by revenue. So it would definitely require a lot of formatting here, but there you go. Then let's just ask, the last feature of Copilot is we can just ask Copilot a question. So let's just say, what is the best formula to use to search horizontally across a table? And this is just a normal prompting, and we'll see what it comes back with. The answer I'm looking for is either index match or HLOOKUP. Oh, it actually came back with XLOOKUP, so that's actually not a bad answer. So the best formula to use is the XLOOKUP function. Here's the syntax. And if you want to write a formula, you can copy it right here. So not bad, really something that, ChatGPT or Claude could do for free, so maybe not something you want to pay for, but a helpful answer and actually gave a little bit of a better answer than I was expecting. So now that we've done our Copilot walkthrough, I am so excited to share a special resource with you. If you go down to the description and click the first link, I'm going to send you a free copy of my guide to 25 ways that you can use AI in finance and accounting today. I would usually charge $50 for this guide. It is going to be yours completely free. I'll also send you my weekly newsletter, Finance Unfiltered, where I share weekly automation tricks, Excel hacks, finance processes, all of that coming to your news box every Thursday. So just to recap what we learned about Copilot for Excel, it honestly was not nearly as impressive as we wanted it to be, and it was painfully slow. On the create part of the create, edit, understand, create gets an F or a 0, however you want to score it. It could not come back with anything useful. On the edit part, editing was fine. It was slow, but it was able to adjust columns. It was able to do some conditional formatting. That was all fine. A for that, well, B because of the slowness. And then lastly, the understand part, I had to give it a lot of information. That was kind of a theme of, aside from being slow, I had to give Copilot a lot of information to the point of I probably should have just been doing it myself, but it was able to generate a pivot table. It was able to generate a chart as I described both of them. But again, could probably have done them 10 times faster even with basic Excel skills. So overall, the technology definitely has a long way to go, something you may not want to be paying for today, but something that you could find value from over the long term. Obviously, Microsoft is a very well-resourced company with a lot of effort behind this. I am sure this technology will improve over time, but it's always important to remember that the user is the one coming up with the strategy, the design, the insights, and the computer is really there more from like an automation and a partnership tool. This is Copilot in a supporting role. It's definitely not the lead actor. If you found this walkthrough helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what your experience has been with AI tools for finance. I read every single comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more unfiltered finance strategies coming your way every Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.